All right, I want to make sure everybody can hear me real quick. 1 second. All right, we good. So let me know if it's any issues with the audio. I'm using voice meter banana again. So appreciate everybody who tuned in. Don't forget the best way you can help the channel out is thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we live on Twitter and Twitch. Go support us over there. Hit the link tree. It's right on your screen. If you can't, click the link in the YouTube description. If you're watching outside of YouTube, it's right there. Link tree backslash Goodfella TV. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Shout out to Ranky for the donation after we went live yesterday. So appreciate that. Caught that at the end. Shout out to pay-per-view, PVC pay-per-view Palooza as well too for supporting the channel. But yeah, we here today, man. Don't forget you can support the channel by thumbs up the video. I appreciate y'all. If y'all check out the podcast, I have some exclusive stuff coming real quick to the podcast that you won't hear on these channels or platforms. Rate the podcast for your boy. I appreciate that. Follow me, sub to me on the podcast. This will be made available right after the show go off. So probably a couple hours. You can find it everywhere. Immediately, you can find it on Anchor. Or you can find it on Spotify. So, but yeah, man, let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about does Tank Davis deserve credit for the Ryan Garcia knockout/win? No Spence and Bud announcement, and Errol Spence looks out of shape. All right. Shout out to my bro Ricky. You donated plenty of times. Appreciate you. But let's get this thing started.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
All right, let's go. So, but yeah, it's a lot of talk about Gervonta Davis, about the mole in the cap, it being the Olympian. I can't pronounce that dude's name. Revealing himself as a mold. Leonard Ellaby saying they had a mole in the camp. Tank saying they had a mole in the camp. I mean, they went out their way. They went out their way to make sure Tank won this fight. They left no stone unturned. Literally, they left no stone unturned. They had a mole. They had a weight thing going on. And apparently the mole in the camp said that, alerted them that he had hurt Ryan Garcia to the body. Now, does that have something to do with why Tank Davis went to the body? I think it might. And the dude, he's a Mongolian sparring partner, Ardenbat Tessin Bartara or whatever. And my thing is this, dude. I mean, he might have took some money out of his sparring out his pocket. That man might have took some money because I wouldn't want nobody in the camp. That I'm an employee. You gotta remember, he's an employee of Ryan Garcia. He's an employee of Ryan Garcia, bro. So I mean, I don't know. If I'm somebody else, I'm not. Honestly, well, nobody tell nothing that's going on in my camp. Real talk. I don't want to tell nobody. Like, dude, I hired you, and you doing this. But my thing is, they went out their way with some of this stuff. The weight, you know what I'm saying? The mold in the camp. They banned Oscar and with Bernard from the post-fight press conferences. Everything was on their terms. The rehydration clause, the catch weight. They had a mole in the camp. I mean, you can go on and on and on and on about the advantages they had in this fight. They had a tremendous amount of advantages. And the one that takes the cake is that Ryan Garcia. He's not that good. He's not that good. Ryan Garcia is not that good where you have to do all this to beat Ryan Garcia to show you beat Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He did all this to make sure he beat Ryan Garcia. That tells a lot. That tells me a lot about the insecurities and the questions they had about if he was going to win this fight. And when you look at Ryan Garcia for what he is, bro, he's really a glorified prospect. He's really a glorified prospect. That's what Ryan Garcia is. He's a glorified prospect. Simple as that. He's a glorified prospect. And they went over hell of hot water to be the glorified prospect. Let that marinate in your mind like neck bone juice, like my boy Country Wayne say. They had to ensure they won this fight. They were not confident, bro. They were not confident that he was going to win this fight. They were not. They were not confident that he was going to go ahead and win this fight, bro. You don't do all of that, bro. You don't do all of that, bro. They went the extra several miles to make sure he beat Ryan Garcia. Not only just in the contract and some of the bullshit that was in the contract. You had somebody inside his camp feeding you information. They were not confident. Gervonta Davis is not a confident fighter, bro. He's not a confident fighter, bro. He's not. And credit Ryan didn't make no excuse about the weight. He said his legs felt weak going to the ring, but he said once the fight and adrenaline got going, he didn't even know. He didn't feel weak. He did all this shit to beat Ryan Garcia, bro. Think about that for a minute. Imagine if you wanted him to fight Lomachenko. Imagine if you wanted him to fight Haney or Shakur, however you want to talk about it, because Sabrina Matias called him out, but we know that ain't happening, right? He had to do all this to beat Ryan Garcia, dog. So imagine what type of contract would be in there for Shakur Stevenson, a Devin Haney, a Sabrina Matias, a Regis Prograis, a Teofimo Lopez, which Mayweather said he would love to see. And on top of all of that, he says that Mayweather advice was one of the keys to beat Ryan Garcia. This motherfucker needed everything. That's him. That's him when he had to sign the Ryan Garcia contract. No, he said, he did. Mayweather gave me some great advice to beat Ryan. Like this nigga was fighting Muhammad Ali. Like he was fighting Muhammad Ali, bro.
Oh, it's holiday season, nigga.
Come on, man. Like he was fighting Muhammad Ali. Like, damn. Like, damn. How much what you needed the boxing encyclopedia? This dude said, well, Mayweather gave me the keys to beat Ryan Garcia. Like, dog. This motherfucker had the answers to the test and still wasn't sure he can beat the. How much did you need? Oh, man, bro, I can see if it was like, bro, nigga, I can see if it was like, and of course a lot of y'all not gonna see nothing wrong with this shit, bro. And I always gonna speak my truth. If people don't like it, fuck them. Straight up and down. Fuck them. That is what it is.
Come on, get him out of here.
Get him.
Yeah, move him out of here.
Get him out of here. Right? This nigga needed everything to beat Ryan Garcia. One thing, and I don't even like Ryan Garcia. I don't even like dog, bro. I have a dog. I'll fuck with Tank before I fuck with Ryan Garcia. I have a dog in the race, to be honest, bro. This dude needed everything. This nigga needed the Da Vinci Code, the ingredients to Coca-Cola. Like, dog, what didn't he need? This is Ryan Garcia, my G. This is Ryan Garcia, bro. He's a prospect. Don't believe nothing that the media is saying, bro. This is Ryan Garcia. Not Danny Garcia. Not even Hector Luis Garcia. This is a dude that's a gimmick. He didn't have a jab. He didn't have footwork. Didn't know how to get his head off the line. Didn't even know how to throw a 1-2. He wasn't even confident that he was going to beat this man, bro. He was not confident at all. Damn. At all. Hey, Tank, man, you know, I heard Ryan to the body and can't make sure you throw some body shots. Tell Mayweather thanks for the free Reeboks or some shit like that, bro. This nigga is so weak, bro. That niggas is weak in boxing, bro. We ain't even. I can see if it was Regis. I'm like, all right, man, I get it, man. That nigga's a threat. I can see if it was Terence Crawford or Spence. It's like, bro, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm fucking tripping. Ryan Garcia, like, dog, dog, you can watch a little tape on Ryan Garcia and expose him. Like Ryan said. He said, y'all not worried about me. I only got a left hook. But y'all need all this shit to stop me. All Ryan Garcia was doing in this fight was cashing out. I told y'all from the beginning. Just don't listen to me. Don't listen to Floyd. Don't listen to Al Bernstein. Don't listen to the coach. Just watch the fighter in his natural habitat in the ring. No highlights. And tell me what you think about Ryan Garcia. Just tell me what you think. Don't have the commentary on. Just watch Ryan Garcia move and tell me what you think. Daniel, what's going on, bro? He said Adrian Ramirez, I like both fighters, but no, Tank does not get credit for the Ryan win. He wanted every advantage to beat Ryan. So all that talk about Ryan being a YouTuber, TikToker, social media star, that's exactly what I'm saying, bro. You telling me you couldn't just took this dude out without all that shit, bro? Like, I don't get it. Tarver said it best. Tank is too good to not believe in himself. I didn't hear Tarver say that, but it sounds like something Tarver would say. Exactly. If you don't believe, if something hold you back, usually these niggas walk around when they got Tank record, when they got Tank ability with their chest poked out, they tough. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they could take on the world. Like Mike Tyson when he was young. He felt like he was like the toughest dude. You supposed to feel like you can't nobody whoop your ass. It's like when Mike Tyson tried to flinch at Floyd Mayweather, and Floyd Mayweather didn't even flinch, bro. Like you supposed to walk around like at that age, he don't believe. I don't know why he don't believe in himself. Hey, it is what it is. Of course you didn't get credit. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give a fuck about what you're saying. None of that, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care about none of that. We talking facts. You want to come on and tell me something? Let me know. You can come on. Let me know. Like Killer Cam said, let me know. I'm going to get at Errol Spence because they were sharing that in the Discord. Shout out to folks. He said, according to Ryan, I think he walked around between 150 and 160. He was weighed under 145. Dude wasn't drained. He weighed in under 145. What they got to do with anything, bro? He was. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying that he was or wasn't drained. That had nothing to do with me. He signed the contract. But why put a rehydration clause on him then? Why do all this shit if you know you're gonna win, bro? If you supposed to be 2 or 3 steps above Ryan Garcia, why do this, bro? Anybody give me a good explanation why do this? This wasn't a top 5. Like, dog, he hadn't fought at 135 since 2021. Then they told him he couldn't take a fight before the end of last year. Roddy fight coming up next. Even on FanDuel, they know they're making him the favorite. He lose, they cook. Sport Corrupt and Tank on the great escape to 140. He gonna rematch Rolly. You ain't stupid, bro. You ain't stupid, man. Every hardcore fan knows when this fight got made, Tank was gonna flatten him. They banking on Rolly to win the belt so Tank can move up and take Rolly's belt. I always thought this was a cherry pick. Tank still ain't had a 50-50 fight. Now, to be fair, a lot of these guys ain't never had a 50-50 fight. There's motherfuckers that's been undisputed. There's people who have been unified champions. There's people that say that. It's a lot of these dudes who never had a 50-50 fight. Let's keep it real. A lot of guys never had a 50-50 fight. That's current. Errol Spence first 50-50 fight would be versus Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford first 50-50 fight would be versus Errol Spence. Look at Jermell Charlo's resume. What 50-50 fight has he ever had? You know? Jamal Charlo. David Benavidez. Shit, Caleb Plant. He was an underdog. I'll give that to Benavidez as a Plant. Benavidez as Canelo. So that's not a good example. You know what I'm saying? You know, Devin Haney ain't never had a 50-50 fight neither. Shakira never had a 50. It's a lot of these dudes. I mean, there's dudes that's well into their 30s who never had 50-50 fights, bro. Amir Khan had more underdog and 50-50 fights than a lot of these dudes combined. Real talk. So he's not alone there. And that's just the politics and the business of boxing. A lot of these dudes are being swayed away. They want to wait till somebody slow down or wait till somebody show a chicken. All right, boxing always been like that. Sugar Ray Leonard did it to Marvin Hagler when he felt like Mugabe kind of might have took something out of him. It's called taking the fight at the right time. And that's why I commend Danny Garcia. I really don't be trying to dog Danny Garcia out because Danny Garcia took on Lucas Matias when he was at the peak of his powers and he tamed him. He jumped in the ring when Lucas Matias was at the peak of his powers. Like his daddy said, we ain't have to pick him. They fought him. You know what I'm saying? So when you fighting these dudes when they was at the peak of their powers, bro, like, you know, that says a lot about Danny. Say what you want to say about cherry pick Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia picked Matias when he was flatlining motherfucker. He flatlined Lamont in like two rounds. Dude was a stone cold killer. Sergio Martinez took Paul Williams when he was at the peak of his powers. Fought him twice. Thought he won the first fight. Then iced him in the second. Shout out to Paul Williams for taking on him. Margarito still fought Paul Williams too. So it used to be a lot more common back then when the networks had matchmakers or matchmaker approvers. You know, you had real throwback type of guys. Well, no, I'm going to drain Paul Williams and I'm going to drain Carlos Katana. Carlos Katana beat Paul Williams too and they ran it back and Paul Williams beat him. You know, this bullshit between Jermaine Taylor, Bernard Hopkins, you got to wear this, do this, that, and the third. Winky Wright, Bernard Hopkins, all that shit happened. You ever see Sergio Martinez ask for a rehydration clause versus Kelly Pavlik? He took it how it came. All that in the previous era of boxing. You know, Tim Bradley, Lamont Peterson, it was great fights. You hear everybody calling Brandon Rios a fucking weight bully at lightweight when he was bulldozing cats at lightweight. You didn't hear that shit. You didn't hear that term, bro. He was bigger than everybody. Man, he fought Anthony Peterson, and Peterson, I believe, got DQ'd in that fight. Rios was bigger than everybody at 135. You didn't hear them type of terms being thrown around. It wasn't no excuses. It wasn't all this. Pacquiao was the only one doing shit like that. He was such a nice guy, such a small guy that people felt bad for him. So he, in the media, gave him a pass. But all these stipulation shit was really unheard of, you know. Really, before Sugar Ray Leonard got in this motherfucker, dude. To be honest, that's the one who really put all these stipulations in. 12 rounds, no 50. A lot of people say, they say the reason it went from 15 to 12 because Sugar Ray Leonard. It is what it is.
To this day.
It is what it is. So, I mean, just imagine, you know, what it's going to take for him to get in the ring with somebody of that he think he can beat him. And people can talk about his power so terrifying, and it is. Speed, IQ. I mean, he got all the makings to really go out there and put the work in to be the best fighter in boxing. He got the makings to be the face of the boxing. He got everything you want. Power, speed, skills, fan base, the backing. But, you know, just like every great athlete, it's a chink in their armor. It's a weakness. His weakness just so happened to be he don't believe. He don't believe in doing, or somebody talking him out of believing in doing. But the only way you truly can be the face of boxing, like what Canelo said, what Canelo had to do, you gotta fight guys. Like it or not, Canelo still had to get in there with Austin Trout, Miguel Cotto. He had to get in there with Triple G. He had to get in there with Danny Jacobs. He had to get in there with Errol Lara. You know what I'm saying? He still had to get in there with guys. He was able to avoid the Charlo twins. He was able to avoid who am I missing? Demetrius Andrade. But on top of that, he fought somebody that they didn't fight, Errol Lara. So that was fair game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he fought Jose Lopez when they thought he was going to be able to get Victor Ortiz. That's what they want to do, Victor Ortiz and Canelo. But Zito Lopez cracked Victor Ortiz's jaw open. You know what I'm saying? But he took enough of that. Even Canelo with a built-in fan base from fighting on Free Mexican TV and being featured on a lot of cards with Mayweather, he still had to go fight the Austin Trout. He still had to go fight the Laras. He still had to fight the Triple Gs, the Danny Jacobs. He still had to take certain fights. He still had to take the proper precautions to get to where he at. And that's the only thing missing in Tank's resume. And also, he not at a popular weight class at 35. 40, anything below 47, it's hard to be a pay-per-view star at. It's hard. You know, and like I said, I never came on here to say I wasn't going to give him full credit for beating Ryan Garcia. If he beat him or didn't beat him. My thing was, I didn't think much of Ryan Garcia to begin with. I didn't think much of Ryan Garcia to begin with. And that's my opinion. I watch Ryan Garcia and I don't see nothing. I see a lot of athletic ability and I see a lot of vulnerability, a lot of weaknesses. And that's what and they still try to drag their feet on making this fight, bro. And they still try to drag their feet on making this fight. Tell me why. Tell me why. Huh? Why are they trying to drag their feet on making this fight? Come on. Why do they need all these stipulations? That's what I just want to fucking know. But can't nobody that's saying, oh, I'm hating, or you just don't like Tank, or can't nobody explain to me why they put all these stipulations in here. Explain it.
It's like going to heaven and finding God smoking crack.
Tell me why. Who can articulate why? When Ryan had to drop weight, I knew he was going to lose. I mean, even with the weight, I feel like he still was going to lose. This is my opinion. With the way Tank talk, he act like he knocked out Devin Haney and Shakur in the same night. The postal fight, and a lot of media made it a 50-50 fight because they didn't like Terence Crawford. That's just simply what that was. If I was all about to say Khan got a bunch of fucking 50-50 fights or fights he was the underdog in. Real talk. Well, Mayweather and Pacquiao a 50-50 fight. Now, in my opinion, at that point it wasn't. Floyd was supposed to win that fight. Had he fought him in 2009, 2010, something like that, then yeah. He didn't want to still fight Pacquiao, man. Showtime made him fight him. I don't know. You keep asking like I know. Did I say I knew when the announcement was? Mark Nash, what's going on, bro? Y'all subscribe to Mark Nash TV, man. Shout out to my brother Mark Nash. Shout out to the 404. He said Ray said they did 1.5 pay-per-views. Yeah, I don't give a fuck what Ray say. You got like this nigga is Sugar Ray Leonard. Can't fuck with that gay ass. Let me stop. That Mook say? Shit. He said you was right about Ryan Garcia, but without the hydration clause and all stipulations, fight would have been epic. I don't really know, man. I just think he lacks the and people say, oh, he's not focused, and he lacks fundamentals. If he had fundamentals, he'd be world champion. You come into the fight and he wasn't gonna get fundamentals overnight. And we could talk about Ryan Garcia. It's over for Ryan Garcia, bro. It's only so long that fake thugs can pretend, bro. It's over with for Ryan Garcia. He's a gimmick. It's a, you gotta look at how they moving guys, and they tell you a lot about them. Josh Taylor got 18 fights, and look how fast they moved him. You look through the resume. He fight in the United States. Anytime a foreign fighter come over, he had a great interview with Brian Custer that came up today too. Anytime you see guys, foreign guys, especially British guys, fighting in the United States early in their career like Josh Taylor, and they move them fast, he's a very talented fighter. And you look at certain guys, how they move them. Look at Gary Russell. The first 20 fights was nobody. You got to ask yourself why. Lomachenko had three or four fights going into the Gary Russell fight, but they were all experience he had versus Orlando Salido was greater than 20 nobodies that Gary Russell fought, and that's just being real. So when you see somebody getting moved in small increments and not getting challenged and continue to fight nobodies, it's hard to step up and say, you know what, we're going to jump 2 or 3 levels and go straight to Hall of Fame mode and start fighting top fighters. It don't work that way. It don't work that. And all Garcia did was he hid. He was selective in his opponents, and he cashed out versus Tank Davis. Him going to 140 pounds, he ain't got a best chance in hell. He can say, Oscar said, well, he's going to come back bigger, better, deafer, and stronger, and he's going to come back better, and he's going to come back. No, he's not. If you couldn't beat somebody that's 5'5", what you going to do with guys who going to just walk you down and take your lunch and not even leave you a piece of ham off the damn sandwich? He can't do shit with them guys. You couldn't dominate guys at 30. You couldn't dominate guys at 35. He can't do that with them. People say, we just need to be focused. And, man, do you understand the disadvantage that he really at? He don't have footwork. He don't move his head. He don't have the footwork to get his head off the line, so he don't have to move his head that much. He don't have a 1-2. He don't have a 1. So think of that. He got a height advantage versus anybody damn near, maybe versus not named Benakatani at 35. He don't know how to jab. He don't know how to step to the side. He don't know how to weave. He don't know how to get on his toes. The first thing you learn to do is your foot, your stance. When you that tall and you don't know how to jab, bro, come on, man. A great jab would have took him to at least the championship rounds. A great jab wouldn't allow Tank Davis just to tee off on him like that. He don't have a jab. And thinking that he gonna be a world champion, man, I mean, it's gonna be very strategic. It's gonna have to be like Rolando Rody Romero, somebody who ain't got a skill set, just like him, and that's what's going to be. Him beating a Jack Catterall, him beating a Robbie Jr. if he able to come back here. He can't beat some of the contenders at 140 pounds. Y'all smoking crack? Y'all smoking that crack?
Are you habitually using drugs, stimulants, alcohol?
Come on. You know what they would do to Ryan Garcia at 140 pounds?
Oh, that's the beauty of it. I grab a dog, and I choke him, and I kick the shit out of him. And I all day long, I foot up a dog's ass. Just bang, bang, bang up his ass.
That's exactly what's going to happen to Ryan Garcia. That's what's happening to Ryan. They're going to have that boy wide open up there. Motherfucker they're going to press charges with CPS for child abuse. You send that little kid to 140, going to get dogged. That motherfucker need to retire. Or go do YouTube box community and fight Jake Paul and all them. He might lose some of them niggas up there, to be honest. He might lose some of them. They might have tons of fun with Ryan Garcia in the YouTube championship community, dude. I don't know if KSI might lay that nigga flat out. Flat out.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
You know, but dog, that man, all the focus on he would have to. What Ryan Garcia would have to do would take 50 steps backwards. He would have to go back to the bare minimum basics. Stance. He probably need to take an aerobics class, like Holyfield should be doing a little dance class, salsa class. He had to worry about moving forward, moving back. He had to do so many endorsements just to focus on that. And then the thing about it is not teaching somebody that. That's why they tell you to start when you're young. It's a cutoff period in boxing a lot of times. And the guys that don't make that cutoff period and they are successful, they're very, very awkward. They lack the fundamentals. Just learning to move forward and back and sidestep and use the jab and applying it in a real situation, that's hard, bro. Because what you gonna do? He 24 years old. He been doing it. He been allowed to skate by doing this shit his whole boxing career. So you think a year of hard training really gonna change him for the better, especially after getting knocked out? Yeah. The amount of work that he would have to put in for this to stick, he would have to cut off everything he's doing in life right now and just focus on this. You know what I'm saying? He'll go a long way with a 1-2. He'll go a long way with his height, his reach, his speed. Throwing the 1, throwing the 2. It's fighters that got Kovalev got by throwing the 1-2. The motherfucker ain't got no 3, no hook for real. So he got a hook. But if he just focused on how to step to the side, his chin was tucked better in this fight too. How to just throw different jabs. How to sneak the right hand in there. It'd be natural for somebody to stick the left hook in there. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you that it's way more important to have straighter punches than hooks. And hooks are very important. Don't get me wrong. You need a great hook. But we've seen some great fighters get by without having great hooks. We've seen some good, Ray Jones was all hooks. You know, he throw a jab, little quick jab here and there. But that jab, we didn't see that jab take motherfuckers all like Leon Holmes to the top. Muhammad Ali to the top. Thomas Hearns to the top. That jab can take you all the way to Hollywood, baby. You know, if he I don't know, man. Me personally, if I was his coach, I just had that motherfucker working on footwork, dance class, you know, stepping back, stepping to the side. I wouldn't even say, just keep your chin tucked, my nigga. Throw it and working on that jab. Perfecting it. You know, you that tall, that rangy over Tank Davis, and you don't break a jab. And the thing about it is, Tank didn't throw a lot of jabs in the fight neither. Tank just focused on the counter. He focused on him making him miss that left hook, making him make mistakes. And Ryan Garcia did a great job of keeping his chin tucked. He did his chin didn't flop as much as it did in previous fights. But ultimately, maybe that wasn't exposed because Tank Davis just chose to use power shots to chop the tree down because he knew he was hurt to the body. He said, I'm from New Orleans, but I live in Baltimore. I argue with cats all the time. They talk shit about Regis, but I know Tank will never fight him. Of course they won't. Regis is all risk, no reward. What do you get for fighting Regis Pro? He get the WBC title. It ain't a pay that. Maybe he could be Regis Progress. I ain't ruling it out. But one thing, we know about Regis Progress is that he can take a punch, and he a dog.
You think you're mad?
Like a roll.
Yeah. This fight was name versus name, nothing more. Tank was supposed to win this fight. The stipulation was just make sure there was no hiccups. Louis Garrett said it best in a couple lines. Tank Garcia was a money grab for sure, especially on Gervonta. on Ryan's side. What up, boy? Take no China salute. He said Tank is at least 10 years ahead of Ryan in skill. Man, you might, John B. You might be 10 years off too. But you right. Who got a great jab in boxing? Jamal Charlo, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Devin Haney's jab is really good. Shakir got a good. There's a number of them. Deontay Wilder, when he actually chooses to throw it. Better be. I've got a really great power jab. Golovkin jab. But Golovkin might be. He probably got the best variation of the jab that I could think of. Golovkin could throw it as a power shot. He could throw it as a peppering jab. You know, that's one thing about Golovkin. You know, and I don't like giving him credit for how he moved. But one thing about Golovkin, he can vary that jab. He knows how to use it. You know what I'm saying? He'll throw that bitch like a straight right hand. You know what I'm saying? He'll paw with it. He'll throw a piston like jab. That's why Canelo couldn't get his ass out of there. Gennady Golovkin, that amateur background, he know how to throw. I don't think nobody throw a better variation of the jab than Gennady Golovkin, bro. To be honest, I can't think of nobody who varied their jab like Gennady Golovkin in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Gennady Golovkin is step with a hard jab. Better be after a really good power speed jab. He got the best power speed jab in boxing. I don't even know if that's a thing, but the way he throw it, that motherfucker fast, and it's a hard power jab. Golovkin just step in with it to break your guard. And he hits you with it. It's actually a power shot. You know what I'm saying? Golovkin got, he throw a really good power jab. Better BF kind of throw a power jab, but it got a lot of speed on it. You know what I'm saying? It's both. It's for the same reason. It's to really open that guard up. You know what I'm saying? It's really to open that guard up. But that motherfucker land, it feel like a power shot. I can tell the way he hit motherfuckers with it. You got some people who just, who kind of just throw like a peppering jab, or, you got the little Klitschko jab, and they kind of paw with it and shit. They really don't allow that no more. Deontay Wilder got a really good jab when he chooses to throw it, though. Trying to think of somebody else. Jamal got a great jab. Jamal got a really good consistent jab. Really good consistent jab. Well, who else? Jack Catterall got a really good jab, too. That motherfucker accurate. Good guy, too. I interviewed a few years ago. Accurate jab. I'll give you some more guys before I move on the topic to Crawford, Spence to close it out. I want to give y'all somebody. Victor Postal got a really good jab. Somebody brought him up earlier. Really good jab. That's how, some people you take their jab away and that's it. Yeah, Beaver got a really great jab. Beaver was a fucking phenomenal fighter, bro. If you really kind of look at some of the things he do, that was a bad pick by Canelo. Beaver got a, Beaver is very unconventional. Unorthodox in a way, not lefty or right, just unconventional, just a real awkward fighter, but you don't really see it because he makes it look so fluid. Some of the things he do, somebody's breaking it down on Instagram, some of the things that he do, he get away with, that, they don't teach you to do. But he make it look so good that, you watching the fight, you just don't pay attention to it. At one point, he was a guy that just kept rolling out. He'd throw a bunch of combinations with quick hand speed, and he'd roll out the same way. But he was doing different things, feinting, keeping guys off balance. He got great hand speed, great footwork, awkward footwork. All around great fighter. Got great leverage on his shots. His feet always underneath him. He always on balance, no matter how awkward his footwork is. Fucking tough to beat, bro. That motherfucker, that day, if you really break him down, you can't even take a. It's like Rabizio Ramirez, real quick. Like some of the things Rabizio Ramirez was doing versus Dog Bay, they was talking about how squaring up on the ropes and how his feet was all over the place. Teach you how to do it, and they say, well, Dog Bay could have took advantage of it. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers. His footwork terrible, but he just got the natural talent to make up for it, bro. And some people look sloppy. Would they be unconventional? Some people make it look good. Bobby O, what's going on? Some people make it look good. How many pay-per-views? I don't know. I can't call it. You won't know until the end of the week, maybe into next week. So I think it did pretty well. A lot of people talk about it at the barbershop and all that type of stuff. So I think it did pretty well, bro. So, but let's move on to Crawford. So apparently they had they had this. Here it goes. It's on Twitter. So hold on, I can pull it up. So Errol Spence said a few things on Instagram as well too, and I will pull those things up regarding the fight, right? And here's subliminals or whatever. And then Sean Tazell, who I met in Vegas at 1.2, good dude, bro, solid dude, do good work. Got to give Sean his credit, right? So Sean was actually interviewing Errol Spence and shit, right? Since I know I love y'all talking about this stuff, so let's go.
All right. Let's go.
So he actually was interviewing Errol Spence and kind of asked him about the fight, and then he asked him about the Terence Crawford fight, and he wouldn't answer. And Errol Spence boy said, "Well, he's not answering for a reason. There's a reason why he's not answering your question." So he remained mum on it. Now he went on Instagram and said some things about the fight, and I'll get into it. Now they showed this picture. They were saying, "Well, he don't look like he in June 17th type of shape. He looked kind of chubby in this picture or whatever." Like I said, I ain't got the greatest eyes in the world. I will say that. I don't have the greatest eyes. But people saying like he looking out of shape and don't like he gonna fight no time soon or whatever like that. I mean, shit. I mean, how many people really stand ready, bro? How many people really stand prepared if you don't know when you fighting or you don't know this, that, and the third happening? How many people really stand prepared and ready, man? Some people are disciplined enough to stay ready. When your number's called. I mean, how many times you see the backup quarterback don't even know where the fuck his helmet at? You know what I'm saying? Because he don't expect to get in the game or whatever. So, one thing about PBC, man, I will defend him on is you just never know. You never know. You heard, I forget who was talking about. They talking about they fight. They just kept getting. I don't know when I'm fighting. As they said that was supposed to be in the summer. It was Keith Thurman. It got pushed back to the fall, and it got pushed back all the way eventually to February. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, man, they don't fight. They don't fight. You got Bud sister throwing stuff out there. I think he's just trying to get back to trolling. As Espinoza says, he believes it's gonna get done and all this type shit, dude. It's just to the point like I'm totally turned off to it, bro. I think a lot of people totally turned off, and I feel like a lot of people feel like if it don't happen this summer, it's just to the point like, all right, let's move on. Errol Spence can strip that weight down at any given moment. Errol Spence might be putting on weight, and then cutting down when it's fight night to have a physical advantage. It's all a science to it. Some people walk around big and cut down so they can have a physical advantage. Roberto Duran was known for doing that. That's why Sugar Ray Leonard wanted a media rematch. Roberto Duran went back to Panama, ate a bunch of food. And he knew it was going to be hard for him to cut down the weight, but he liked to, and that dude, I mean, it puts stress on your body. But you still kind of like somebody that cut down weight, but you could, that lost a lot of weight, but you still could see the bone structure. Like they still kind of like Benavidez still kind of big boned it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's up to him, man. Like, only he know, and I put up the Instagram post, only he know what's going on. He been there for a long time, bro. It's a money division. And then that's going to be his excuse to move up. At this point, we just don't give a fuck. If this storybook ended in and they don't fight, good. Just let's keep it moving. Because ain't nobody ever going to settle on who fought it was and who fought it wasn't. Nobody going to be in the negotiations. Nobody was going to be there. At the end of the day, history is always going to blame the less popular fighter, and that's Terence Crawford. And when you don't be friendly with the media, you don't befriend the media, you don't show love and talk to the media, then they vilify you. That's simply what it is. And it's no different from the local dummy box community saying that, we only support the guys who support us, who only interview with us and we can monetize. I don't get down like that, bro. You don't talk to me, don't talk to me. Cool. Like it or not, I don't know. I got my subs by commentary, not off interviews. If I wanted to interview, yeah, I could do that. I could do it. It's nothing. But I just choose not to. But while they say it ain't like I'm dick riding and done no shit, would I be dick riding if I went over there to Granddad, just say what up, just to dab him up? Magnificent move to town. Oh man, but yeah, people say, oh man, he look heavy here, he look out of shape for shit, and hey man, it's prerogative, man. When you ain't fought in over a year, and that's kind of what I was saying, like Saturday. I think after the fight Saturday night, or I was saying this at some point, maybe it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And what I was saying was like with all the inactivity and stuff of that nature, it's just like, man, it's gonna hurt a lot of these dudes, bro. It's gonna hurt a lot of these dudes leaving a lot of money on the table. And then you gotta ask yourself, like, name how many fighters ain't fought this year yet or ain't fought in a while yet. Just run down the list of fighters who ain't fought this year. The Charlo twins, Errol, Spence, Terence, Crawford, Canelo is yet to debut this year. Has Carlos Adames debuted this year? I know Janibek got a fight coming up this year. I think Lubin got a fight coming up this year. I'm not sure if he debuted just yet. Castanos ain't came back this year, and I'm just looking through the rankings. Tim Tszyu fought this year. Stayonis ain't fought this year. I think they fight is allegedly back on for July 18th for Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz ain't fought this year. Or Dennis Ugas ain't fought this year. Josh Taylor ain't fought this year, I don't believe. That was last year. Who else we got? Devin Haney ain't fought this year, believe it or not. So I don't think Isak Cruz fought this year. Lomachenko ain't fought this year. Frank Martin ain't fought this year. William Zepeda got a fight coming up. George Kambosos ain't came back this year. You know, so it's a number of guys who have not fought this year. Stephen Fulton ain't fought this year. So you think about it, man. It's a lot of guys who ain't fought in a long time, bro. You would think we should have a fight on every weekend this summer, or multiple fights weekends this summer. We just fought this year. He fought. Didn't he fight this year? He fought an old buddy. For the belt, he fought my boy Jose Zepeda. That's my boy. Cool people too. He fought. I think that was this year. No, that was last year. Damn. That was last. Regis ain't fought this year. Damn, that was last year like a motherfucker. So, I mean, we should be having a lot of fights coming on, man. We should be having a lot of fights coming in the summertime. Because we in the spring and a lot of guys still ain't fought, bro. A lot of guys still ain't fought. So, I mean, think about that for a minute. Either the money well is drying up in boxing, or these dudes ain't gonna fight. Tank Loudon said this was his best opponent face. I mean, who better than Ryan Garcia? That's subjective. So Spencer Crawford fighting, man, died. I mean, did I say? So I said no Spencer Bud announcement. That's all I said. There wasn't no announcement on Saturday. So I don't know if y'all looking for an announcement. I said no announcement was made. So what I'm gonna get to, he said on Instagram, Freddie Roach used to say Floyd had a great job too. Yeah. How many pay-per-view? Okay, I read that shit already. He said Earl like a cruiserweight. Earl been at welterweight for 10 years. Surprised he hasn't moved up. Ain't no money at 54. All the money at 47. But Ron Hopkins the only guy I saw staying in shape. Well, Floyd, Deontay Wilder. Well, that's just Deontay Wilder natural frame, I believe. I mean, Anthony Joshua always in shape. He just got too much muscle. There's a lot of fighters who stay in pretty good shape. Canelo. You never see Canelo fat. Regis always stay in shape. It's something my Johnson Salute Sport Channel Venmo CJ Good 313. This summer and fall should be lit. It should be. It's just a lot of guys and girls who ain't fought. Shakir's the only one who would be fighting consistently among. Tank. Tank already got 2 in the bank this year. You know, he gotta go sit down for a second. You know, he should get 3. He told me I fought twice. I'm tired. I'm like, motherfucker, you should be trying to run up another one, bro. You should be trying to run up another one.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
But hold on. So apparently, I seen this going around on Instagram, well, on Twitter first, and a lot of people trying to read this nigga cryptic sketch shit. He said, I don't care what happens. One thing we're not going to do is go backwards or whatever. I don't know what the fuck that little thing is right there. Somebody tell me what that emoji is soon. I was like, news soon. Good shit last night, Tank. So he said we ain't going backwards. So he said some news. So maybe you get an announcement pretty soon. Some people's taking that the wrong way. So, I don't know what that means. Somebody still told me they was fighting on June 17th. That's still the plan. Don't shoot the messenger. There's something that I heard. So, I don't really know, bro. I don't really know. That's what he say. And, that's just what it is. It is what it is. I mean, it would have been a perfect platform to announce it on Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? It was a great platform. A lot of celebrities there. I mean, it definitely would have been the best thing on the undercard if they just got in the ring and did a small press conference better than the undercard. It wouldn't have cost them nothing. Maybe to comp both of them guys a flight out there and get them a hotel room, it wouldn't have cost them nothing. That would have been better than the whole undercard. And they said with the co-feature, we're gonna have two fights on the main event card. It's gonna be an Errol, Spence, and Terence Crawford press conference in the main event. That shit would have been better than that. So, I mean, he said news coming soon. Like I said before, I don't know. So, I expect, is it the news that you hoping to see? Shit, who knows, bro? Who knows? I mean, I don't know what's Keith Thurman doing. And I didn't know George Foreman movie came out. That shit like a Tubi movie from the highlights, though. I still go support it. So yeah, I don't know, man. Keith Thurman just had another child too. So he took his family to see the George Foreman movie. So I can't call it. But if they come with an announcement, they come with an announcement. If they don't, they don't. I mean. If it's Keith Thurman, people gonna justify it. People ain't gonna like it. If it's Terence Crawford, a lot of people be happy about it. So, I mean, do whatever you want to do. He a grown ass man. He want to move up and wait. Move up and wait. He said I saw an article that said Tank getting sentenced a month for a hit and run about 4. Yeah, sentenced a month for. Yeah, I can see a month. I don't know if it's a federal case. Probably 30 days. You probably get out before 30 days on good behavior. Shit gonna feel like a long time in there. If he be on good, they probably gonna have an ISO. You need to go sit down, to be honest, dog. You need a little bit of time, bro. We all need that reality check sometime making some bad decisions, bro. Ain't nothing. Caught up in doing dumb shit, All these cameras they got on these corners, they gonna catch your black ass. Trust me. If y'all got any questions, I'll answer them. But Saturday would have been a perfect enough, and maybe they wanted to make it his own event. Errol Spence press conferences kind of be like their own event. But if they don't make this fight soon, it ain't gonna never happen, bro. It ain't gonna never happen. So, J. Cass say Charleston White was right about down niggas needing. Yeah. My daddy said the same time. Niggas need that time. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Yeah, niggas need that time. Niggas. Hey, that time, man. You sit in there, motherfucker. You can't do what you want to do and move how you want to move. Somebody got ate up alive by bed bugs or something in one of the prisons and shit like that. Staph infection going around. Ain't no bitches but the guards. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, some people need that, man. You get money, bro. Remember how Tommy Buns was on Belly? He had a couple $. This nigga thought he ruled the world and shit. So imagine Tank. He got millions legit. You got these young black men making young fighters in general making millions of dollars. These athletes in general, and they never had a job to balance a checkbook. They never had to pay a bill. So who you leaning on? You gotta lean on your parents, Your parents ain't never had that much money, unless you came from that lifestyle. So not only you learning to manage your money, and then you probably trusting somebody else to manage your money. Then you got to manage the family around you and how you making their money. Rick Ross had the perfect remedy. He said, my mother and sister ain't asked me for money in years. He showed them he gave them startup money, showed them how to make their startup money into more money. Now I ain't got to worry about that. So, before you start letting down money, you should learn how to invest your money. Magic Johnson had a great story on All the Smoke podcast on, his road to being a business mogul and how